stand-up box office record.
What record did he break?
He said he broke some record of your box office sales in stand-up.
I don't know. Where did he break?
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. See, I seen your stuff on social media, boy, I know what you do, but you do.
Eddie Murphy just exposed why Kevin Hart always looks uneasy whenever Katt Williams' name comes up, and the truth landed heavier than anyone expected. Katt has been hinting at Kevin for years, but now Eddie, a certified legend, has added real weight to those whispers. From Katt calling Kevin an industry creation to Kevin dodging Katt's offer for a face-to-face comedy showdown, fans keep asking, why does Kevin avoid this one comedian so consistently? For decades, Eddie Murphy stayed clear of drama. No beefs, no slick comments, no Hollywood tension. But once the topic shifted to Kevin Hart, Eddie's long silence finally cracked.
Or are we ever going to see you on stage again doing stand-up?
I'm going to do it again because I got to break Kevin's new record. I got to get back on the stage because this new record that Kevin got, I got to have it.
In a recent interview, when asked about Kevin supposedly breaking his stand-up box office record, Eddie didn't flinch. He reminded everyone that Raw is still the highest-grossing stand-up concert film ever, and he hasn't touched a stage in 27 years. Then, with a sly grin, Eddie added, "Now I gotta get back on stage because I want that record back, Kevin." Funny, sure, but Eddie's jokes always carry truth. And that ties directly into why Kevin stays tense around Katt Williams. When a legend like Eddie openly questions Kevin's crown,
Comedian that came to LA, and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading. No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plan?
It doesn't just shake the numbers, it shakes credibility. Kevin has spent years crafting a clean, brand-friendly, marketable image. But when someone of Eddie Murphy's caliber raises eyebrows at that rise, people start digging. That's where Katt Williams steps in. And he didn't throw light shade. He set the whole room ablaze. In multiple interviews, Katt accused Kevin of being an industry plant, someone fast-tracked and protected, not strictly for talent, but for playing along. Katt claimed Kevin's rise happened because
Show hometown in Philly. I'm gonna take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court.
he agreed to play ball, avoid certain topics, and stay quiet around certain Hollywood power players. And Katt didn't stop at talk. He said he had receipts. According to him, for about 5 years, almost every movie role offered to Katt first ended up in Kevin's hands after Katt turned it down for being disrespectful. Once Katt said no, the script allegedly slid straight to Kevin. Now mix that with Eddie Murphy basically saying Kevin's record isn't what people think, and suddenly Kevin's legacy looks less untouchable, more like a climb built on timing, connections, and silence. That's why Kevin avoids Katt, not physical fear.
Think a plant is. Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
But fear of someone who knows too much, someone who's seen the inner mechanics, heard the private conversations, and walked away from shortcuts Kevin may have accepted. Eddie's comments weren't random. They cracked open a door the public was already peeking through. When a veteran questions someone's achievements, the entire narrative gets re-examined. And for Kevin, those questions trace back to the company he kept and the choices he made on the way up. One example? A Las Vegas party in 2010 that's now going viral with new context. It was a celebration for Diddy, and Kevin wasn't just there, he was hosting. Back then, it looked like a normal celebrity event, but the footage resurfacing now feels different. One clip shows Kevin inside a cramped bathroom surrounded by women in bikinis. The room is dim, candles everywhere, the vibe chaotic.
Over. Cops like license and registration, please. So Mike go Buck, where's the registration for the cop? You know, he's got this African accent, right? Go. Man, you better get the fuck out of here. Stop talking to me, Mike. I don't know this shit. I don't know what.
At one point, a woman's hair catches on fire. Kevin and everyone around him laugh like it's entertainment. No panic, no surprise, just more filming and laughing. Another clip shows Kevin talking to a camera crew, casually telling them not to shoot near a certain section where Diddy is sitting. He doesn't explain why, but the camera accidentally picks up just enough to spark questions online. Not about guilt, but about proximity. Kevin wasn't
Hollywood. No one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any
just present. He was involved in the energy of the night, hosting, guiding, laughing through wild moments, completely at ease. And that matters because of what surfaced later. In 2024, federal investigators accused Diddy of running what they called freak-offs, private gatherings allegedly involving drugs, exploitation, and abusive conduct. Kevin has never been accused of any crimes, and nothing links him to illegal acts. But the issue is the circles he moved in, and the moments he stayed silent. The footage exists, the timeline exists, the proximity is real. So when paparazzi pressed Kevin about Diddy, he didn't clarify anything, and that evasiveness only made the questions louder. People began revisiting other chapters of Kevin's journey. What they found wasn't about guilt, it was
already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was
about patterns. In 2013, Kevin was arrested for DUI after nearly hitting a tanker truck. Police reported signs of intoxication, and he later admitted he made a dangerous choice. In 2017, the cheating scandal hit after a Las Vegas video showed him in a compromising situation with another woman. The drama intensified when someone allegedly tried to extort him with the footage. Kevin publicly apologized, saying he'd made a bad error in judgment, and later his wife revealed she'd been pregnant during that time. Then in 2018, when Kevin was,
there's no gatekeepers, but we keep seeing the same people open the gate. Didn't Kevin open the gate and let Tiffany in? Ain't he now opening it up for...
Announced as the Oscars host, old tweets and stand-up clips resurfaced with controversial jokes about the LGBTQ+ community. At first, he refused to apologize again, and the backlash exploded. Eventually, he stepped down and issued an apology. None of these incidents stood alone. Every time, Kevin reacted the same way: deny or dodge first, then address it only when the pressure got too heavy to ignore.
I've never been the humble guy. I have time to not be humble today. I have time to fact check everything he said because the world of Katt Williams is...
That pattern made people question whether he values honesty or image. And that brings everything back to the company he kept. Kevin surrounded himself with extremely powerful people, some now facing major allegations, some accused of dangerous behavior behind closed doors. Again, Kevin has not been accused of crimes, but his name keeps resurfacing because of silence, timing, and proximity. Then came Katt Williams' 2024 interview on Club Shay Shay. It wasn't a rant, it was a full breakdown of what he believes is wrong in comedy, and Kevin Hart was the center of it. For Katt, it wasn't jealousy, it was the speed of Kevin's rise.
He was actually one of those comedians that said, "No, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way."
Dave Chappelle said that they tried to make him wear a dress.
You have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. I know what they are. You got to know that you're a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times.
And then when proposed with the opportunity of what I felt was funny, nobody made Martin put on a dress and nobody made Tyler Perry.
Katt Williams argued that Kevin Hart didn't come up the way most comedians do. While other comics grind for years, city after city, club after club, Kevin seemed to leap past that stage like it barely existed. Katt even questioned the timeline shown in Kevin's Netflix documentary with Chris Rock. The doc emphasized Kevin's East Coast beginnings, but Katt pointed out that Kevin was showing up in LA comedy rooms at the exact same time. To Katt, none of it lined up, and he wasn't shy about saying so. He raised the question that still follows Kevin today. How was he hustling on the East Coast and breaking into Los Angeles comedy at the same moment?
Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do.
Katt said the timeline didn't match, period. And that's when the word plant stopped sounding petty and started landing like a real accusation. In Katt's world, a plant isn't an insult. It's someone placed, pushed, and positioned by the system, handed chances other comedians never get, then promoted like they earned it the hard way. And from where Katt stood, Kevin's ascent never quite fit the usual pattern. The roles, the deals, the pace, it all felt too smooth, too connected, like a handoff, not a hustle. Kevin has tried to address this before. On Oprah Prime in 2014, when asked about the idea that his success was overnight, he said Hollywood always makes things look instant, but he had been grinding for 18 years. He talked about studying legends like Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock, and covering his walls with their photos for motivation. "What separates me is my drive," Kevin said. "My drive is other people's success." But to Katt, that wasn't the point. His question was never about whether Kevin worked. It was about how Kevin skipped lines most comedians never even get close to.
And we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked.
As the noise around Kevin's rise grew louder, Katt started aiming higher. He didn't just call out Kevin, he called out the entire structure behind Hollywood comedy. Katt said talent alone doesn't win, gatekeepers do. And he believed Kevin had become one of them. To explain why, Katt pointed to Kevin's connection with Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany is a household name now from Girls Trip and hosting SNL, but her early years were rough. She's openly talked about being homeless, sleeping in her car while chasing her dream. In a 2018 Vanity Fair interview, she said Kevin found out she was living in her car at the Laugh Factory. He gave her $300, told her to get a room, and told her to write her goals down. She followed his advice, got a motel, made her list, and checked it off step by step. But Katt wasn't impressed when the topic came up on 103's Frank and Wanda morning show. He questioned whether Tiffany had actually earned her sudden spotlight. He said Tiffany had been doing comedy since age 16, but people still couldn't name a signature Haddish joke. Why? Because she hasn't done a tour. She hasn't done a special. Katt kept going. He questioned whether she wrote her own material, whether she could carry an hour-long show, and whether Hollywood was pushing her image before she had fully grown into her role. The tension spiked when Katt said the industry was quick to push aside someone like Monique and lift up someone who had simply delivered Girls Trip. When Wanda argued people loved Tiffany for being real, Katt shot back, "Since when did being real become a marketable product?" He even suggested that Tiffany's openness about her attraction to white men, specifically Brad Pitt, helped her move smoothly through an industry still guided by old gatekeeping rules. Then he highlighted black female comedians who had been overlooked for years. Lunel, Miss Laura, Melanie Comarcho, women who put in real work without getting the same push. Kevin Hart didn't let that slide. He went on The Breakfast Club with Tiffany and went straight at Katt. "You had the shot," Kevin said. "You were set up to be the star, but you didn't show up." He accused Katt of skipping promo shoots, wasting chances, and becoming a liability. Kevin said Katt was attacking someone else's success instead of owning the choices that hurt his own career. But this time Katt came loaded with specifics, names, dates, and deals. He claimed that for 5 years straight, nearly every major comedy movie Kevin starred in had been offered to him first. Katt said he turned them down not because he didn't want work, but because he refused roles he felt leaned too hard into stereotypical or hypersexual humor. "I'm not against comedy," Katt said, "but I'm not cutting corners. I'm not doing something I don't believe in just to get ahead." He said whenever he pushed back on scripts, studios ignored him and handed the roles to Kevin, who said yes without blinking. Katt tied this back to a long-running conversation about black male actors being pressured to wear dresses for laughs. Dave Chappelle talked about it years ago. Katt brought it up again during the Scary Movie 5 press run. Around that time, Kevin had just done a sketch on SNL where he wore a dress. To Kevin, it was comedy. To Katt, it was part of a bigger pattern he'd been warning about. In Katt's mind, that dress wasn't the issue, it was the symbol. It stood for a line he refused to cross, and one Kevin crossed without hesitation. Katt's complaint wasn't about clothes, it was about compliance. He believed Kevin was willing to do whatever the industry asked, even when it leaned into harmful stereotypes. And that, Katt said, was the real divide between them. Katt sees himself as someone pushed out because he wouldn't play the game, wouldn't take certain roles, wouldn't stay quiet, wouldn't bend. Kevin sees himself differently. He says he wasn't protected, he was prepared. He worked nonstop, took every opportunity seriously, and turned small chances into big wins. From Kevin's viewpoint, the difference between him and Katt comes down to work ethic, not politics. But Katt wasn't the only person calling Kevin out. Monique recently added her own revelations, claiming Kevin switched up when she needed him the most, especially when she faced pressure from major power players like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. And that's where the story shifts. Back in 2019, Kevin brought Monique on his Comedy Goldmines podcast. It was emotional. They talked deeply about her struggles and battles with Hollywood giants. Monique said her family felt cornered, and Kevin stepped in like a friend. He told her she was like family, a mother, an aunt, a sister. And he didn't just talk, he acted. Kevin said he didn't know Oprah, but he would reach out to Tyler Perry, and he did. He came back telling Monique that Tyler was ready to move past the tension. He encouraged her to let go of the negativity and start fresh. Monique later told Shannon Sharpe that Kevin went even further, offering support and a business partnership. Kevin told her, "Whatever you want to do, I'll partner with you. I'll executive produce your project." She also revealed Kevin loaned her a large amount of money, which she paid back with interest. Everything seemed solid until the twist. After Kevin promised to help her bring back her talk show, Monique alerted her team at Endemol, the production company. They were excited. Having Kevin Hart as an EP is a big deal. But 2 weeks later, Monique got hit with a bombshell. Endemol said Kevin's manager, Dave Becky, had called claiming Kevin suddenly had cold feet. Monique reached out to Kevin and got only, "We'll talk Tuesday, don't worry." Then nothing. 2 years of silence. Fans started speculating. Some said Kevin never intended to help in the first place. Others whispered that Kevin didn't want to upset Oprah or Tyler Perry by backing Monique publicly. Some believed Kevin valued staying aligned with powerful industry figures more than standing by someone in a tough spot. Again, these are opinions, not proven facts. But the discussion got louder. And this circles right back to Eddie Murphy. Eddie didn't just make a playful jab about Kevin's achievements, he cracked open the whole debate. When a legend questions your legacy, it gives everyone else permission to look closer. And once that door cracks open, it's nearly impossible to close. Because in comedy, respect weighs heavier than ticket sales. And when someone like Eddie Murphy casts doubt on your rise, no number of hits or followers can instantly restore the same level of respect.